I'm a great bass player. That's what this whole thing's gonna be. I'm a great bass player. Can't you tell? Yeah, great bass player. That's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Waddy! Fuck. There he is. Good morning to you, my dear chum Waddy. How you been, man? How's everything with you? I'm just gonna play bass beautifully. What do you think about that? I think it's terrible. I think you're right. Yeah. This is great. This is great. So yeah, I am I'm not a bass player. I'm a bass owner. And this is a ridiculous bass that I made for myself. I've told the story, I think, probably. I don't know. Probably won't go into it now, but who knows? Maybe I will. I don't know my life. Denny, good morning to you. How are you? Dude. Oh, that's great. That name was an absolute chaotic cavalcade of whimsy. Yeah, those evenings after the show were probably the most hammered I've been in a very long time. Still, because I quit drinking, but yeah, that was good. Yeah, good times. And thinking about you and Gareth and earlier in the week. Maybe it was the last one. Whenever I was last talking to Perry, we were kind of talking about that. Good times. Yeah. So I, from time to time, I'm asked if I make basses, and I do, obviously. But maybe I should put this away. But I played bass like a guitar player, which I'm sure people just love. So yeah, people are saying, you gotta lock in with a kick drum, but like I understand that concept. And for a lot of times when I was in my band years, I didn't really have a bass player. Like it was just me and a drummer, and so I would kind of write stuff, and he'd play along, and sometimes I would change what I'm playing to like what he was playing. So it's like I'm kind of used to that kind of concept. But anyway, I'm a terrible bass player, which is too bad, because I don't know that I like playing bass. I have friends that are also guitar players that play bass. Like my buddy Mike Squires from Couch Riffs. Now he's a guitar player. He's a really good guitar player, and he also plays bass. And he really enjoys it. And so I was trying to, in my quest to be more like Mike Squires. I think Mike Squires, if you don't know Mike Squires, you really should. He's a delightful person. He's a delightful person. And yeah, so I remember talking to him once about it. I'm like, bass. Nobody actually likes bass. He's like, oh, dude, I love playing bass. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, it's a blast. And I'm like, okay, all right. But then like, uh, I mean, obviously there are songs with just fantastic bass lines, and and so then I can kind of understand that. Like George Michael's Freedom 90. Now I that song is like one of the greatest songs ever. But you know, the bass line I think is just great. And it's funny, you know, I when I finished this thing months ago, and actually Mike Squires is the reason that this was not a Raven bass. I'll get to that in a second. But so I finished this up, and I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to play. You know, I'm gonna learn how to play bass. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm like, that, you know, the bass line from Freedom 90. It's not that involved. You know, I can lay a little Sweet Child of Mine on you. You want me to do that? You want me to? That's probably like going into a Guitar Center and playing Stairway to Heaven. Ha! Anyway, you get the point. And so I'm just like, I'm gonna, you know, I'm sitting down with it. I'm like, all right. But then as it gets going, as I'm listening to the song, I'm like, it's written for a 5-string. And I was surprised that I picked that out. Really? It's not that hard. That's not a big flex. No, I know. And then I realized it was a 5-string, because there's, you know, the point in the, maybe like the pre-chorus gets real low. Well, it's a bass, dipshit. I know, but it gets lower than like a normal bass. A normal bass? What do you mean by a normal bass? Like what, a 5-string bass isn't normal to you? It's early for this. Can we not? Give me a break a little bit. Just go away. And so yeah, so I'm just like, so my dreams of playing Freedom 90 have been crushed. And no, I'm not going to make myself a 5-string bass. Although we're making young David a 5-string bass. So that means that'll be good for him. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna put this. Maybe I should. No, I wanted to sit here. It's kind of like my emotional support base. Want to play a little Rocket Queen for you? What? Duff is great. I'm just putting that out there. And speaking of Mike, as a tie-in, Mike Squires is playing with Duff right now. He played with Duff's band Loaded in the 2010s. He played guitar, and now Duff has got, I think he's got a solo record coming out, kind of like singer-songwritery stuff, and he's doing some gigs in Seattle where he lives, and Squires is out there now, and so Squires has been playing with his buddy Duff again, so that's really cool. Yeah, I enjoyed learning some of those, like when I was a teen, and Appetite was a fresh record. That's a perfect record. You know, I think that there are I have a list, a mental list, like that TV show, you know, of like maybe things that I consider like perfect records. I would say a lot of them are rock records. I would say that Aerosmith Rocks is a perfect record. I would say that Toys in the Attic is a perfect record, but like Big 10-inch. But I would give it to Appetite for Destruction is absolutely a perfect record. There's not a bad song on there. And people say, "Oh, what do I think about you?" Nope, it's a good song. It's a good song. It's a good song. It just is. Um, I think Shout Out to Devil is a perfect record. Aren't these records that you just like a lot? I told you now. We're not doing this now. Seriously, go have some toast or something. Did I switch sides on these characters? I don't know. Um, I think Pretty Hate Machine is a perfect record from Nine Inch Nails. Um, yeah, yeah. Those are some perfect records for you. Uh, yeah, but no, some of Duff's bass lines are really, really good. Good tune. Um, yeah, yeah. Speaking of basses, and I will get this eventually. I will get this. I will get the pointing part, or maybe I won't. Maybe that'll be my thing. I will. I will become a weather presenter, and I'll be terrible at it because let's face it, we've all got phones. But I know your phone isn't necessarily going to tell you that a cold front's going to come. Well, it might. It probably does. I don't know. Fun fact for you: Mrs. Sully is she is the family meteorologist. She knows. Um, she's into the weather. She's always she keeps her thumb on the pulse of the weather, um, which I don't think it interrupts the pulse of the weather because she's got her thumb on it, but not down too much, which is good. Um, but yeah, like if I until I get there it is. Today we're going to talk about the Astro and the 71 Trella. But let's not let it be overshadowed by the guitar that's on the floor. That's my personal 622 Astro. Damn it, Trella. Yeah, okay, but let's get precise point. See, okay, yeah, from backlight. No, you got to bring it forward. Yep, Trella. Damn it, 622 headstock. Trella. Why is this difficult? It's really not. Wait a minute. No, this was the mean person, and this was nobody knows. There's some comments. Let's see what the people are saying. Ooh, at the plasma donation. Good morning. That sounds a very noble thing. Karen is doing both now in a new band. You're playing guitar and bass at the same time? No. Or maybe. Wouldn't that be something? Like Michelangelo Badio. Like over here is a bass. Like over here is, yeah, maybe like your non-dominant hand. No, but aren't you lefty? So maybe, no, this is right. I'm never going to get the job as the weather presenter. Like your non-dominant hand you can do for like bass notes. How'd that thumbs up show up? Wait, if I do this, does it make it come up? No. Oh my God, it does. Wait. You guys can see that, right? So that's how that happens. Denny will get to you in a second. He's probably not even watching. So yeah, you like hammer out bass and then you can do sweet riffs on your guitars. Let's see. All right, Denny, I'm going to do a pickup swap. Well, are you? We've got a question mark there. That's all right. My choices are red and blue label 59s, a pair of Tim Shaws, or buy something new, style-wise as EVH. Well, you should get Sully pickups. That's what you should get. So You should get Sully pickups. We have a variety of bridge pickups to choose from. If you go to sullyguitars.com/pickups, you can see them. There are some demo videos. We need to have more. Style-wise is EVH. So rock. I'm going to say all humbuckers are suited for rock. Now, what I would suggest for you is, so like our secret menu bridge pickup model is, it's an overwound, PAF kind of thing. It's, I'd say it does everything pretty well. It's been our kind of default install in our guitars for years now. And I would say start, if you want something a little bit hotter, see, like Secret Menu does, the Secret Menu, it's hot enough, it retains clarity. It does things very well. If you want something a little bit hotter, I would say the Salty Bastard. Salty Bastard is I think it's kind of becoming my default install lately, because it's a little bit hotter. But the thing that I really like about the Salty, you know what? I think I got a Salty in that Trello. I think. The thing I like about the Salty is that it gets, it does it's really responsive to the volume knob. So using Ed as a reference, think of Drop Dead Legs. The intro where, it's just a rolled off, the volume knob's rolled off a little bit. The Salty does that. So the Secret Menu does too, but I notice it more with the Salty. So get yourself a Salty Bastard pickup from Sully Guitars. And as far as neck pickups go, we only have one. Why? Because it's really good. Karen is finding it refreshing, playing guitar and bass. That's good. I love the bass line in Anthrax Time, tick, 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 tick. Hope it's the correct title. Is that Got the Time? I don't. That was there was a Joe Jackson song that they did a cover of. You can't. Oh God, I think it's awful. It's really, really. I've only heard half of it. All right, well, it's staying here. I listened to, I put it on in the shop. And I don't know that I got to the chorus. I just think it's really cringy. But, so here's my thing. I am very glad, I'm really, really glad that Ace has continued to release music. I think that's great. I truly do. And, I've seen Ace live a few times. And, now he's got, he's always had a good band. He's got a really good band right now. And, they do all the stuff. My buddy Bob runs sound. And sometimes I'm like, do you bury Ace in the mix? Because, he's got two other guitar players and stuff. And I'm not saying they're doing the heavy lifting. But, I don't. Why am I? I'm not. So yeah, it's not for me. I am very glad that Ace continues to put out records and tours and stuff. I think that's good. Because for a long time Ace wasn't really doing anything. So I want him to continue doing things. I don't necessarily need to. I don't need to do anything. Nobody needs to do anything except for what they need to do. And so this is why I don't write record reviews. But yeah, I thought what I heard of the song, and then I tried to watch the video. I, I, I just thought it was. I didn't think it was good. But like, there's some stuff like I think on Anomaly. There were some songs on Anomaly that I thought that I really liked. Um, but yeah, not for me. Uh, I'm the worst. uh, oh wait, maybe this wasn't in. Oh, was this the Anthrax song? That was. I hope that was it. I hope. Okay. Uh, Drew, hello to you. Hey, so I don't have photos, but your nice man is. When I was as I was talking with my buddy who was ready to have it all buffed out. So that guitar went with a Raven in a double bass drum. No, double bass gig bag that I use specifically for getting things to paint. And so the Nice Man was done, but the Raven that was in the bag with it is almost done. So yeah. So anyway, that means I think he said about 2 weeks that thing should be on its way back to me. Okay. Oh, we're talking about Perfect Records. Destroyer. I think a very significant record. I don't know that I'd call it. It isn't a perfect record for me. Um, I think partially because like I can still hear Detroit Rock City, but that was one that I don't really need to hear anymore. Um, I don't ever want to hear Love Gun again, though. That's and obviously different record. Appetite for Destruction is a great record. Took me a while to warm up to it, though. Catfish. Catfish. I remember buying, I think I still, yeah, the cassettes right there. I remember buying Faster Pussycat's first cassette and the Live Like a Suicide, the original version, at that Flipside that I worked at. But I think this would have been before I worked at Flipside, like a year or two before, where I bought those on the same day. Van Halen 1 is a perfect record. I will give you that. I'll give you that. Rocks is great as well. Yes, that's true. Electric by The Cult. All right. All right. The Cult's great. I do love The Cult. So Mike prefers The Cult to be more on the stripped down AC/DC style. I like Goth Club Cult. But I mean, like Wildflowers, great. Love Removal Machines, great. I mean, yes, that record is amazing. It's good. Oh, that's right, Evan. Thank you. And I mentioned this I think in the other stream. I did it. There is a bass version of the Astro that I drew up. I think it works pretty well. It has a vibe that I think works as a bass. I think it'll be really cool. With this guitar over here, the Astro, I do want to dress it up a few different ways. I think that, there is a carved top version that I need to do the tool paths and stuff and kind of lay it all out. It's like I have all of the work done, it's just in others. Because basically, what I mean by that is basically like if I were to do a carved top version of this, I still can't. I'll get it. if I were to do a carved top version of this, it's basically making a 71 trello, except it's 24 frets. So the only thing really that I need to do, because all the geometry is the same, as far as like neck angles and stuff like that, and it's going to use the same carved top, and so I can use that file. I don't have to make a new one, which is good. The only thing I have to do is move the neck pickup back the correct distance to accommodate the extra frets. So yeah, I just haven't had time to do it. We're going to be shut down between Christmas and New Year's. So like I'll still be going in, but I think I want to use that time as additional R&D stuff, things that I've been wanting to do, but haven't. Like bungee jump. No, that's not what I'm going to do. But yeah, so that's, I would like to do the carved top version of Astro. The other thing I need to do is figure out what the non-Floyd bridge is going to be for the model. And because, as we see here, this thing has been like living its best life. So, if you watch, remember that the Soldano video that I was stream? It's finally out. So I thought it was supposed to come out last Saturday. It didn't until I think Tuesday. So it is out on their YouTube channel, and there's a 59-second reel of Perfecto playing this Astro on the Soldano Astro, and then this was brought to our pal Stevie of Buck Cherry last weekend. They played at the Fonda Theater in Hollywood, and so he played it for I think like a handful of songs. So that's good. So yeah, this little fucker's been living its best life, and that's all we want for things. But so with this Astro, the thing that's nice about a Floyd, one of the things that's nice about a Floyd is that it's got a large footprint. And there's a lot of real estate here. So if you have like a little teeny tiny bridge, I mean, maybe you need something else to kind of, don't even say the B word. We know, and it's not even a funny joke. So for the carved top version, I mean, yeah, obviously I can put a Floyd on it. But so there's two of these that exist right now, and they are pretty much the same. They're same color, same bodywood. The second one, which is, it's off camera. It's in a gig bag over there. That one has a different fretboard material that I've been using that I like as an ebony alternative. But yeah, so basically I've made the two that I've made, they're the same. So I need to change it up a little bit. I do have the thoughts of making an Astro guitar that's got a pickguard on it. Some people have said, oh, you should make you got to do it with the 3 single coils, Trisonics. And I don't know. I mean, I think that might be a little too on the nose, but like I'd do a 3 single pickup one, single coil. But yeah, I don't know just yet what the non-locking bridge will be. I might, just to get one done, I might do a Tunematic stop tail, because that is in line with it takes up visual space. Although if I'm going to make one with a pickguard, that will also take up visual space, and so then my bridge choice may not necessarily be as crucial.
At the store.
Okay.
Food coloring.
Okay.
Hairspray, not mustard.
Food coloring, hairspray, and not mustard is what Mrs. Sully's going to the store to get. fun. So yeah. Astro. Good morning from Mazda Westwood. We're here kicking out the jams. I'm gonna need to see that trail a lot closer. Well, you're in luck. I can do that. And I will. Okay, here's the back. This has been on camera for like ever. This one was the one that I made out of spite, where we painted it black out of spite. So as you can see, there's a flame top under there. It's not a real good one. It's not like the figure doesn't run throughout. So when you have something that, you know, might be kind of nice in certain areas, but maybe not in this area here, you can do this. And number one, it looks cool, which we all know is my main criteria and priority. So it looks cool. It gives it a vibe. You also get the added fun of activating some people. Yeah, so I love this one. Is a fun guitar. I was going to at one point make it available, and like, let's be honest, I'll sell pretty much anything, but I wouldn't sell this for, like, there's no deals that are going to be made on this guitar. But yeah, it's a cool one. It's fun as hell. I enjoy it. Salty bastard, man. I am behind on the comments. Ace's band, I think, yes, I would agree. I heard he had another band that was pretty well liked. Kiss, yeah, they're all right. Anthrax still kicks ass. Nice, man. Always perks my ears. Yes. Stu, go to Leon's for me. Get me a raspberry sundae, if you'd be so kind. Faster Pussycat's first album was great. It is. But you know, I'm gonna shout out to Wake Me When It's Over. How does that go? No. I hear that song. Right. Anyway, I thought that their second record was quite a step forward. Quite a step forward. There's a lot of really good tunes on that. There's a lot of really good tunes on that. But the first one, you know, you don't change that song. Bathroom Wall, all that stuff. You bought Appetite for Destruction and Faster Pussycat's first record at the same time. See, we were on similar wavelengths. And you know what popped up into my head the other day when I was washing my hair? Driving around listening to the first Smash Gladys record. I guess technically it's the second one, but man, that was a good record. We really listened to that one a lot. How did Lights Up go? Oh, what's that chord? I don't remember. And my buddy Nightbob told me that I guess he was kind of involved, or maybe, well, he knew the Smash Gladys people in the Run DMC Aerosmith Walk This Way video. I think there's a certain point, maybe like towards the end of the video, where there are hints of other band members, like when they were live like towards the end. some of the guys in Smash Gladys were placeholders. So there's your cool Smash Gladys thing. Aww, look who's here. You must have heard me talking to Waddy. Let's see. Good morning. Wake me when it's over. Ship rolls up. Ship Rolls In was one of my favorite tunes on that record, especially the and Dan will attest to this because we probably used to drive him crazy with me listening to Ship Rolls In. Driving it round and faster than limousine, 2 girls in the back of the American. Got me a mansion in a swimming pool, living this luxury is totally cool. I just thought that was a great line. It's not, but I just I enjoyed the fun. You know, the ship finally rolled in, living this luxury. How are you going to describe that in a lyric? Totally cool. Perfect. Still love that record. Smash Gladys. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. The very first Great White album was great. I don't know that I had that one. I had Once Bitten. I like that one. It did drive me crazy with Ship Rolls In. Yeah. You don't have to sell me on Faster Pussycat. Did you see them at the Metro? Like back in forever ago? I remember I saw them, would have been the Wake Me When It's Over tour, at the Metro with Danger Danger opened. I was not a Danger Danger fan, but I remember getting way up to the front just so I could be close. And Catfish, you came with me we went to that. You went with me to that show, right? We went together. I know we did that, and I thought we did that show together. And I remember we went and saw Badlands together. And then didn't we go to after the show? Like we were so thirsty. We went to the Burger King and got like 2 32-ounce cups of Coke each. Yeah. Here we go. Faster Pussycat. Whipped is an underappreciated record. Nonstop to Nowhere. Jack the Bastard. Yes, Jack the Bastard is a great song. No. I think it's at a different key. I like Whipped. I thought Whipped was cool. There was good tunes on there, and man, do I have that cassette down here? Maybe I have the CD. There's and there was I have a CD single from that. I think it was a CD single for Nonstop to Nowhere that had 2 extra songs on it. Charge Me Up and Out With a Bang. Those were good. Yeah, and then there was like the time in the 90s when Tammy was living in Chicago and he was bartending at he would bartend at this place called Mad Bar. And I forget where it was. Because I was real hazy. But I remember going and, sitting at the bar and talking with him. He was a nice guy. I had a good time. Because he was down there. He was in Chicago. It was when he was kind of starting more of his industrial side of things and was doing like some, I think, pig face stuff and all, like, there was a lot of, there was quite an industrial scene in Chicago in the mid 90s. Well, even before then. Yeah, Whipped was good. And I remember that, I want to say that they were going to play The Whale or something on that tour. And I don't think I got to go. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember I only saw them that one time in the Wake Me When It's Over tour. Yeah, Rats EP with the initial one with the original version of You Think You're Tough. Yep. Oh yeah. With You Think You're Tough in the original version of Back for More. Yeah. Have a little break in the middle. You were not at that show. Well, it was a good one. I, I, um, uh, so Andy Timmons is in this area. I've seen Andy a few times, and you know he's very close with the folks at Guitar Sanctuary. And I remember the first time I went to Guitar Sanctuary. It was a very long time ago, over 10 years ago. I was testing out a Raven that I had finished, and because I wanted to hear it on a good amp, because I just had this my JCM 800. Like, I really need to get rid of that thing. It needed some work for a while, and it's kind of, you know, it could use an oil change, so to speak. And so I wanted to go and test it out on, you know, something that I knew was going to be good. And so I was playing just quietly. You know, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just like, and Guitar Sanctuary, it's a very high-end guitar store. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so you're going to be the guy that's going to go into a guitar store and ask to test out an amp. You have no intent on buying anything. So you're going to be, why would they want to help you? And I'm thinking of this as I'm driving in, and I'm like, okay, yes, that's true. But on the other hand, if I go in there and if I say, hey, I just finished this guitar, can I test it out? It's a guitar store. There's going to be some level of interest. Like, they're not going to be just raging dicks to you. It'll be fine. And so I keep my head down and I'm like, hey, I just finished this guitar. Can I test it in? I'm like, I'm not trying to, you know, kick the door open and announce my presence. I'm like, yeah, you know, they set me up. And so, you know, I'm just playing. I know I was playing Shock Me. I know that I was, because Andy came out from one of the teaching rooms. This was in their first location, and like, that matters. But he came out and he's like, Shock Me. And I look and I'm like, I saw you and your old band open up for Faster Pussycat at the Metro in 1989. And he's like, shh. Yeah. Anyway, that's my Andy Timmons story. He's a nice guy. I've seen him since. I actually helped him meet Ace at a show. He went with so my buddy Brian at the Guitar Sanctuary. We met up at an Ace show, and when it was, you know, I was catching up with my buddy Bob, who was running sound. He's, you know, come on back. I'm like, can I bring, you know, these guys? And so I did, and that was fun. So there we go. Okay, yeah. So you did come to that show with me. That makes sense. The this is the 32-ounce Pepsi thing. Yes. Here we go. 32-ounce drinks every once in a while. Gareth, Whipped is an insane album. Agreed. Out with the Bang was, you like Out with the Bang. And I remember I asked Tammy, well, like, because I really like Charge Me Up. I like the horn section. It's good. It's a good tune. And I'm like, which one did you like between those songs better? And yeah, Out with the Bang. Yes, you did. You know what? Speaking of Fast Pussy, hold please. Here, look at the Astro. In my files. So this is some cool stuff that I've held on to for forever. Here's some Robin stuff. That was Robin's school picture. Some working passes. This was his Detonator tour itinerary. What else we got in here? Oh gosh. There was a time when I wanted to put a bunch of Jameson labels on a guitar, and, you know, like clear over them. So I have a whole bunch of those. Cool story. Okay, there is something specific that I'm looking for here. Here we go. I think I gave Perry. I gave you a copy of this, didn't I? So this was a record release for the first record. It's got Tammy's number on it. Right? Wait, no, there. Wait, I'm never gonna get the job as the weather person. Let's see. It's right here. Don't call it. So this belonged to somebody who gave this to me a bajillion years ago. This was so it was a launch party at a club called Scream, which was also a place where Jane's Addiction used to hang out, and yeah, albums out Monday the 13th. So that's fun. Yes, nice. I felt bad, I'm like, oh man, Perry likes this stuff. I'm like, oh, I'll give him a copy of it. And then you told me the story, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad for giving you this. But apparently it's worked out just fine, which is good. So I actually did have some fun stuff. This has been fun stuff to talk about for us, right? Yeah. What was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. So like am I the only... Oh, hello to Brazil. I didn't get the Power and the Glory Hole, but I did. Did you get the Newly Dead's album? Great cover of Susie's Cities and Dust. Oh, see, it thinks I'm giving a thumbs up. Okay, let's see. You gonna do it again? Catfish, I love it. Catfish calling in from the production office. Time check. So, this is a nice tie-in to Ace. So remember years ago for NAMM, I did the Lightning Bolt guitar, just for funsies. And I had always planned, on making some more. They are a pain in the ass to make because of the painted fretboard. But with my CNC, that thing has, when I think about how long I've had it for 4 years now, there have been a couple of things that I've needed to do, there have been a couple of problems over this time. When I think about it, they've been really minimal, and Laguna has been great for service. But one of the things that was just this weird, peculiar thing was, as it was related to neck throughs, and I'm realizing with the time that I had, I wanted to give more time to this, but we had a problem with heights. And it turns out that there was this, there's some kind of ghost in the machine in the controller that doesn't it doesn't want to let it go above 1 5/8 when you touch up in a certain spot. And so I'm doing a really terrible job of this. Okay, so let's say this was a neck through, and it's going to start here, and sorry, it's the neck through, and we're going to cut the back shape, and it'll start over here, go right, and then it'll come over here, right, just get the sides, the side transitions, and then it eventually kind of goes here, goes this way. Why don't you go this way? This one comes out a little cleaner. And what would happen is we'll go here, fine, over here, down, fine, and then it would come up, and it would cut through the back And I'm like, what the hell? And so I'm looking through like, there's not a problem with the drawing. I look at, you can preview it in the CAD, and I can see the tool path. Like, it's not like there's a surface there. It's not running into it, because like it won't, and blah, 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 blah. And so this manifested itself in some other operations. Like if I needed to, thickness out a body blank, and a nice easy way to do it is you make this surface that is, let's say, so a body blank is 1 3/4 of an inch thick for us, for most models, unless you want to do a top and blah, 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 blah. So a nice easy way for me to get a uniform kind of cut is you surface one side, flip it over, and then you touch off the bottom, your spoil board, because you're telling it you want it to cut 1 3/4 above whatever starting point I'm giving to you. So table surface, go up 1 3/4. It'll go 1 5/8. I'm like, what the hell? I'm checking my measurements, because like, let's face it, the fact that I can operate this machine in any capacity is amazing. I'm not dumb, but like that whole side of all that stuff, that part of your brain that is required for that kind of work is, we're not real good friends. So I go and check the drawing. There's no problem. There's no problems. I talk to Laguna, like, oh, there's probably something in the file. And I'm like, there's not. Like, it's in different files, like in brand new files and things like that. And so, so problems plagued me for years. And we've been talking with someone who has been acting as a consultant for me for almost a year now. And this is like, we still couldn't figure it out. And then our last conversation, we're kind of talking about, and and they suggest that I make this one, like we kind of figured that there's something in the machine controller that is causing this problem, because like there's some other tests that I did to try and replicate it, and like, no, it's in the controller. And so we made this change in the CAD file. We changed our Z level height. We just added like 5/8 of an inch. So what that would mean is that I would have to like touch it off 5/8 of an inch higher, and let's see if that'll go for 1 3/4. And it did. It was perfect. It wasn't 1 5/8. So I'm like, so now making neck throughs is going to be a lot easier, because I really don't, making neck throughs by hand the way that I've had to make them, and it's real dangerous. It's really, really dangerous. Specifically, like when we're talking about like headstock shaping, doing this by hand, template goes on here. This goes face down on a router table. And then, we run the bit around there. Now, if you've got like a set neck or a bolt-on neck, the thing is this big, it's 30 inches. It's manageable. If you've got something for like a neck through, so you've got 48 inches of material that you have to, with one hand, you've got one arm, you're holding it up. I might be holding it up with this one, and then you're holding it flat on the board. And it's with certain types of woods, like say like maple, it gets heavy. Especially you're trying to do this fine kind of operation of moving this around a spinning router bit of death that, so you're making sure you're feeding and not feeding it too much, so you get tear out and all that stuff. And so, and oh my God, if someone ordered a neck through with a Raven headstock that was not reversed, I did have one of those. Those are even more prone to tear out, and they're just not pleasant. So super fucking dangerous, quite frankly. And I really hate making them. But anyway, with this breakthrough that we had, I made a Comet. which was what we called that lightning bolt guitar. All I need to do is I got to make a fretboard for it. And so, I don't want to say I told you so, but Ace is back. And that's really good. So this first one, you got to make at least 3. I mean, I've made one before, but, so this one that I made, it just needs a fretboard. I'm just going to finish it with a proper fretboard, and then we'll just, paint it a color instead of going, full lightning bolt. Because, I also, like a doofus, tried, I actually routed a binding channel and a headstock, and I'm like, you don't want to do that if you're going to do the lightning bolt, and blah, 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 blah. So, so that's good. This is I know how I sound. I sound like a crazy person that's probably over caffeinated and really fragmented, and thank you for watching any of this. But so this particular, this week has been good. And that makes me happy. So, hooray. Okay. Yes to the Newly Deads. Yep. Skin Tight Skin. I remember I liked that song. And, I liked Susie and the Banshees. So Cities and Dust. Garbage recently did a cover of Cities and Dust, and it is glorious. They also have a new song called Witness to Your Love, which is, I'm going to say that's my favorite song of the year. Another perfect record, King's X, Out of the Silent Planet. There you go. Garth, what about You're So Vain? Yeah, that was good. That was a good cover. Yep, you got to use nitro to relic stuff. Told you my headstock router incident shortly after the neck was ripped out of my hand. Scary stuff. Oh, Mrs. Sully left her phone at the store. You don't want to do that. Yeah, thankfully, I've never had any kind of thing like that. Well, I've certainly had a router tear out, and when that happens, I do kind of pull my hands away. But I've not had a situation where I don't recall where the bit actually took something and removed it from my hands, which is good. Tim, good morning to you. Moron! Going to see Margaret Cho tonight at the Vic. That's rad. Look at you getting out and doing something. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. You gonna get 64 ounces of Coke on the way home? Why not? What else? So I'm glad, because that will... I do have this really nice flamey roasted maple neck blank, neck through blank that's been glued up and sitting for a very long time. And, there are times that I'm looking at that. I'm like, I need to make a neck through something out of that. What is it going to be? I don't know. You could do a neck through Concord. I'm like, oh, no, the top. It's a pain in the ass. And neck through trell, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to. So anything with a carved top with, that would just be a pain in the ass. So what we're learning is that neck throughs are pains in the ass and should be avoided at all costs. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's one long piece that goes through the body and it sustains. No, it doesn't. It is one long piece that goes through the body, but the idea, I don't know. I don't think I was about to say I don't think any of that matters. It does matter, but whatever. Derek, good morning. We're leaving in 5 seconds.